It's your girl DJ Miss Eclectic, Wiki, and you're checking out the Mixtape podcast. It's your girl DJ Miss Eclectic, and you're tuned into the Mixtape. Y'all, I have a very special guest this evening, none other than Dani Parks. You do everything. You are a brand strategist, coaching. You are the founder of Pearls. Let me make sure Princess, Pearls, and Puberty. Yes. Make sure I get the 3 P's correctly. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I am doing well. Cannot complain. So you're here from Augusta, Georgia.
Yes, all the way from Augusta, Georgia.
That good 1.5, 2 hour ride.
Yes.
Y'all, she was supposed to bring some donuts, but that didn't happen. So she claims the place was closed, but we gonna Let me do my research and Google real quick.
Diligence.
So let's talk about Princess, Pearls, and Puberty. Mm-hmm. So how did this come about? I know you have a daughter. Did it come from that, or let's give us a little background on that?
It came from that. For all my moms out there who have daughters, your daughters walk around, Mom, look, I got what you got. And one day my daughter came in, she was like, I got what you got. I was like, girl. And I looked, I was like,
well, you really do.
Oh, Lord. And it was in that moment.
And I knew.
I realized that I didn't know a lot about puberty. And so she was starting in her journey. She had to be about, I would say, maybe 3rd or 4th grade. And so I'm like, okay, as a woman, I know the things you need, but how can I educate you during this season? And so I've heard about puberty party. So I just put it out on Facebook, like, hey, who wants to have a puberty party for our girls? And I got over like 50 comments. I was like, okay, so we doing this. And I think a few months later, I'm an event planner, so it was, nothing for me to hurry and get an event together. I had over 100 girls register. I had 80 of them show up.
That's awesome.
And so from there, it just took off.
So for people who are wondering what it is, let everybody know what it is. What is
so the Princesses, Pearls, and Puberty Party? We are now a nonprofit, a 501c3, and basically we teach girls 9 through 12 years old and their parents. We educate them about puberty, periods, mental health, wellness, as well as physical safety as a woman. That's very important as our girls are getting older.
Absolutely.
And then we also bring awareness to period poverty in inner cities.
Period poverty. I've heard that before. I've seen the hashtag. What exactly is period poverty?
So period poverty is the lack of resources to menstrual products so that a woman can handle or take care of her period in a dignified manner. We have a lot of women who are in poverty, or maybe not in poverty. You're just living paycheck to paycheck, or maybe just can't get certain things that month. There's a lot of women who go without pads or tampons. They try to find some way to manage their period during that day. So that's what period poverty is. And I didn't become aware of that until maybe my 2nd year into throwing the P3 party, and I was going around to the schools, and the principals and nurses were telling me about young girls. And at this point, we were only targeting elementary and middle schools, mostly elementary. So these stories are coming from elementary principals.
Wow.
Girls missing school because they couldn't they didn't have pads.
Really?
Or they didn't have running water at home, so they couldn't clean themselves. So you have girls even now missing school, missing out on extracurricular activities because they don't have the resources or the products they need to manage their periods. So and it's just and it's not just here. It was surprisingly to find out it was in Augusta, Georgia. It's here in Atlanta. It's in the United States. When you hear period poverty, you think like third world country where they don't have a lot of resources, but it's right here in the United States.
Well, I honestly wouldn't. I've never thought about that. I know. I was watching a documentary one time about homeless people, and they were saying the ladies were like, what would you like to put in a toiletry bag? And they were saying something like pads, hygiene products. Yes. But so I think about them, but I never thought about just somebody in school who. Oh yeah. I just never thought about that. Wow, I didn't even know that was an issue.
It is, and as a woman, that's kind of it is embarrassing. I know at one point in my life, I had that issue. I was like, okay, do I pay my bill? But now it's like the time of the month, and that's gonna cost me like a good $20.
Sure is.
But I can use that $20 to get food or pay a bill. how you making these decisions like, how can I manage this? So I know what some of these women go through, but some women go through this on a monthly basis, like how college students, especially. I worked at a college, and there were times where the students would ask for help, and you kind of gotta pull it out of them. Okay, what else you need? Well, I'm gonna take you to the store. What else you need? And they'll pick up everything. You have to ask, do you need pads and tampons? And yes, ma'am. Girl, go get them.
Those pads and tampons.
So it is something that is embarrassing to women, because you feel like with society as a woman, you should be able to take care of yourself, but they don't know we have other things, other responsibilities.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
pads are not cheap.
No,
especially if you go into like these 100% organic cotton pads. They are not cheap.
They are not cheap, and I mean, you do want to get quality pads, so you don't have to keep going back to the store buying some, because if they're too cheap, they're not going to last through the day. So, and you have girls who are now having like heavier periods at a younger age. Yes. So the more women you have in your household, the more expensive it's going to become.
Oh, I never even thought about it. Wow. Yeah, that is something. I mean, I'm just a little baffled by that, because I did not know that was an issue. But yeah, that's definitely something. So what can we do, to help? I know if we can end it, but what can we do to help the situation?
Well, right now, like probably like with Georgia in particular, there's a lot of states. There's a thing called, you may have heard of it, tampon tax or a pink tax. Right here in in Georgia, we have a bill that's being written and established called HB 810. And let me make sure.
HB 810.
And it's about... Yep, that's right. Menstrual products. So menstrual product tax exemption. So taking all taxes off of menstrual products, because having your period, is a medical condition.
Yeah,
it's like we can't control that, and
it's gonna happen monthly.
Yeah, every month.
Unless.
Unless. So taking the taxes off of that bill hasn't been passed yet. Okay. But this year we were able. And when I say we, I'm a part of a coalition called Georgia Stomp, so Stopping Tax on Menstrual Products.
I love it.
And it's a coalition of different organizations from around Georgia in general, where we push for awareness for period poverty and then other issues affecting women. And so this year, I think it's Governor Kemp, he gave $1.25 million to Department of Education.
Okay.
Specifically for pads and menstrual products.
Okay.
The thing is, the nurses and the principals, they're the ones who have to request it. I think there was a fund last year, but if the principals and nurses don't know about it, they can't properly supply these products to their students. So you have teachers buying pads, you have nurses buying pads, not knowing that, these funds are available. And then also $200,000 was given to the Department of Health. So if you need to go, to the Department of Health in your neighborhood, they can also request funds in order to get those products as well.
That's really good. So just people knowing about it.
There's people knowing about it, but it's still very new to everybody.
Okay, yeah.
So
Well, now listen, if you are a principal, if you are a nurse, order some pads and some tampons for the babies. Yes, that's something.
Elementary, middle school, high school, I think even colleges may fall under that as well. Department of Education. So.
Yeah, because that can also affect your self-esteem as well. That's something that y'all also focus on, right, at the P3 parties?
Yes. Mental health, we focus on that as well. Mental health. I'm a mental health advocate, especially for suicide prevention and depression. So I try to bring the girls in, because as you're going through your puberty season, not only are your hormones are changing, you're also having issues with like self-esteem, self-image, peer pressure, and that can wear on your mental health wellness. So I try to bring in social workers for if I'm not doing the talk, then I bring in social workers to do that as well with them.
Absolutely. I think that's so major. You see a lot of suicide rates that are high for young ladies, young men too, and that you're thinking, well, they young, they're like 10, 11, 12 committing suicide, and that just breaks my heart. So yeah, I think, and it's for young ladies too, and I'm going to start, I like to talk about the brown and black young ladies too. We definitely have to deal with self-esteem, with the whole hair thing that's going on, with my hair that look like your hair, the properly maintaining the hair. I just saw a Instagram clip of a teacher. She was the girl, I think her hair, she was natural, and then she ran outside, I think her hair, she was rained on or something. She came in, her hair was like all fuzzy, and so the teacher braided her hair. But I think that's major too. Just the imagery that you see with teachers, what you're doing, I think is major for these young ladies to see that and to know that, hey, no matter how your hair is, no matter how you look, like, you know, you are beautiful inside and out. So I love what you're doing. Like, I absolutely love it.
Yeah, and then also like suicide is the 10th, not the 10th. Suicide is the second leading cause of death among the ages 10 years old to 25 years old. Wow. So they're still starting that young with the depression and the suicide attempts and thoughts, and you know, all that can play into what's going on at school or maybe in their household. So we try to expose them, make sure not only their parents know, hey, these are resources that you can use to help your child when it comes to their mental health, but also to let the kids know, if you need help, these are the resources that you can use as well.
What's some advice you have for parents that have a child that's coming into this puberty age and they don't really know how to talk to them? What's some advice?
First advice, don't freak out. Don't freak out, because it's a shock to the moms and the dads when they realize their little girl is, you know, she's blossoming and, you know, getting her curves and
you everything. Walk in one day like, oh, where did that come from?
What in the world? I don't remember that.
Yeah. You had it yesterday.
Yeah. So don't freak out. And to educate yourself on puberty, because I think people focus on just like the periods and they focus on sex. Puberty education isn't taught in the schools. It's just like glossed over a little bit, and then we get straight to, you know, talking about sex. So educate yourself on puberty, because there's a lot that goes on with it, not just with the females, but also the boys.
That's true.
The mental health aspects, even the self-image for boys, self-image for girls, all of that plays a part in their puberty experience.
True. And so I'm gonna ask you, since you talked about boys, since you have Princess Pearls and puberty, is there Prince? I don't know.
Well, I can't give you all that.
Prince and puberty. I don't know what to put in the middle.
Yeah, and so we are actually slowly but surely gearing up for that, because I do have a lot of single moms who are like, "What you got for the boys?" I mean, I'm not a boy.
Right, exactly.
So, and I'm pretty, just from what I read, I know the boys' puberty are probably, you know, real fast, like 1 or 2 days, but their puberty still extends. And so really, when it comes to boys and their puberty, you want to focus on the mental health aspect, because there's a lot that they harbor within themselves, not just for our African American boys, but just any boy in general, depending on the testosterone and how do I manage this. So we really want to get that party up and going probably sometime next year.
I love it. Because I think boys, sometimes they get left out. We have a lot of these events for young ladies, a lot of teen events for young ladies. I'm like, where the babies at? And then that grows into a systemic issue, actually, because then you get to the women doing well. You're like, well, I need a husband, Lord. So I think it's good that we bring them both up, right? Yeah,
together.
Absolutely.
I remember I used to do like a workshop in one of the elementary schools on self-image. And one day the mentor for the boys was out. So they were like, you know, can the boys come in here? I was like, sure, bring them on. We were talking about, what was it? Flawless, or, I forgot what it was called. Probably Flawless, but we were talking about self-image. And like the girls they were used to the talk and everything. Yeah, but the boys, they were eating it up. And afterwards, they were coming up to me saying, thank you. Wow. I needed this. You could really see them like, okay, this is something that is lacking in when we mentor our boys, like the self-image and what they think about themselves. And you know, just how to bring that out. Let them know it's okay to, if you have body issues, it's okay to have body issues as a male. Let's work on that. Let's see what's going on in your mind to see why you have that type of perspective for yourself.
Absolutely. And we don't think about that. We think about boys are supposed to be tough, just work it out, get over it. But they have emotions, they have feelings as well. And I think that's definitely something that we have to address. Like I said, or it becomes an issue when you get older. And I mean, that's for women or men. So I think that's so important. I even had like older guys, they say they even like to be complimented. Like I think I was reading like what guys like, and they say, we always compliment women. So sometimes
you like to be complimented? Your hair look nice today.
You look good today. Like, I like that shirt. Like, and it doesn't have to be like any type of sexual gesture. Just you look nice today.
Buy your man some flowers.
Right?
Like, you'd be surprised. They'll be like, no.
Just don't send him to his job.
Yeah, don't send him to his job. But guys like, because it's just a form of flower. Like, oh wow, you thought about me. And,
I was like, we don't think about that as women. We're like, me. I want this. I want this. Like, you do need a little love and attention sometimes too, huh? Okay, I can get that.
Yeah, rub your feet. Let me rub your feet.
We're going to get that pedicure first.
Yeah, after the pedicure.
Yes, let's work on the feet.
Yeah.
I'm nuts. But speaking of self-imagery and all this, what do you think about like what these young ladies see in the media? Because let's just be real. When I turn on TV, if I'm going on Instagram, majority of what you see, I mean, some of these bodies could be real. I don't know, but some of them we know that they are not real.
Yeah.
So you see these contoured bodies that are like, you could have got that in the gym, but I don't think you got that in the gym.
Yeah.
How
coulda, woulda, shoulda.
Dr. Jim.
Dr. Jim. J-I-M.
How important is it to relay that message to these young ladies?
Oh yeah, I always talk about self-image. I had a self-image issue growing up as well, so and that played into my history with depression. So not feeling like trying to always cover up. Trying to downplay everything that I had going on when I was going through my puberty. So we definitely try to make sure that they know that you're not going to develop like your best friend's going to develop.
Right,
some girls are going to develop a little bit later, some develop a little bit earlier. As far as like the periods are concerned, you may get your period in middle school. It may be later on in high school, but your body is your body, and this is how you're developing. As long as there's no serious like underlying medical issues,
right.
This is how you're developing, and to be proud of how you're developing. I seen this video the other day. Beautiful, beautiful Black woman. She was like dark skin. I'm talking about like dark. And she was doing a makeup tutorial, and then I was like, I know daggone well she is not putting on the same color I wear. I mean, her skin was so beautiful. I'm like, I was ready to see what color
she's gonna do and how she's gonna bring her.
When she finished, it was like I was just like, okay, like we can find you a foundation to match your skin. I mean, just beautiful dark skin. But she was, and that's the issue we have, amongst Black women is that you have to be either lighter or darker, but not knowing like we're all going through the same thing. Just because you're darker than me or lighter than me, we're still dealing with the same issues as women, as Black women. And we just don't see that. We don't see that because they try to pit us against ourselves, like light skin versus dark skin. Like none of that. We're all going through the same issues.
Absolutely. No matter you dark, light. And I think everybody, but it's hard to be comfortable in your skin because of the imagery that you do see on TV, or these rappers, I want a light, dark, what I want a thick light. They whatever they say in these songs nowadays, or in old days too.
Yeah.
So it's hard when you hear that and you're constantly seeing a particular image or a particular image that they're showing on TV. It is hard to be comfortable in your own skin, whether it's your skin tone, whether it's your body type, whether it's your hair. It is a lot of things that we have to learn to love ourselves. And I think, I'll take it to the Bible. We were made in God's image. So God made you beautiful the way you are. And your confidence comes from God too. So I just think if we know that, but it's not an easy thing to do. That's you got to talk to God. You got to talk to yourself, talk to your good friends and your real friends, and know that own what you are, own what God gave you. I mean, if you want to lose weight, work on losing it, but still love who you are at that moment, So I think women are beautiful in all shades, all definitely. Shapes. I think we are all beautiful creatures. So, but I just know that it's hard to see that on TV. People talk about Lizzo all the time because they think that her talent is overshadowed by her trying to show her body type. But I mean, I don't. There's two with that. I said maybe she's just out here. She's showing y'all that she could be big, beautiful, and talented. But some people say they think that she's taking her body type over her talent. But I say to each his own.
Yeah, and it's all a growing process. So like we don't know what she's going through in this moment. So she'll get to a point where she'll be able to merge her talent and her advocacy for, being big and beautiful. She'll be able to merge those together where it just works here. Because right now it's like we either see this or we see that. Like, how can we get that to? But she'll get to that point whenever she gets to that point.
She gets ready. And everybody has a process. And then it's easy to talk about somebody when you're not in the public eye, but she's literally living her life out in the public eye. We don't know what type of messages she gets. No matter how tough of an exterior you have, some of that stuff gets to you.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I say kudos. I think she's super talented. And I say good. If you want to show your body on TV, you go for it.
You go for it. I'm gonna be rocking your music,
right?
The way I dress.
But you rock it the way you dress. But no, I just think that's so important for what we see. And is it because you got all these Instagram models, and Instagram is just so? I think I love what you're doing to show these young ladies that there's a different perspective. Your mind, your body, your health. I love it, and I'm all about mental health as well. I tell people you can love Jesus and go to therapy too. It's okay to do both.
Yes, please do both.
It's definitely okay to do both. So tell everybody, how do we support this? How can we? Is there sponsorship opportunities? Give us all of that information.
Oh yeah, so there's sponsorship opportunities. There's volunteer opportunities. There's also opportunities if you would like to bring a mini version of the P3 to maybe your organization or your church or whatever you have going on. You think this would be a good fit? You can contact me at p3partyforgirls.com, and then all the contact information is on there. We're also on IG at P3Party4, the number 4 girls. And then if you can't remember any of that, you can message me at Iam_Dani Parks, and that's on IG.
Awesome, man. We appreciate you for stopping by the show.
Thank
so this
you
will
for
be
having me.
Absolutely. This will be the 6th annual one coming up, right? And what's the date? We didn't talk about the date. This will be the 5th annual. We got to talk about the date.
The date will be Lord, I'm looking at. I'm about to say October 26th. That's tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
It will be March 26, 2022 in Augusta, Georgia. And like I said, there's no problem. Like we're making moves to have the party up here in Atlanta as well. So look out for that. We'll definitely be promoting that once we get that established.
I would definitely say sign your kids up if you're in the Augusta area. If they bring to Atlanta.
Yeah.
I DJ, what was it? That was the third one, I think?
Third one,
yeah. And that was absolutely amazing.
The girls had
information.
so much fun. They had a lot of fun with you. And we also stream. So if you want to know, if you want to get a taste on how this party is, we did stream our party last year. It's on our Facebook, P3 Princesses, Pearls, and Puberty. It's spelled all the way out. And you can just go to our videos, and we have our party from last year streamed. So we do stream it, and it will be streamed in 2022. So if you're in Georgia or if you're not in Georgia, you can still have fun with us and get your daughter her presents. And that's one thing we also give out pads at the end of our parties. One thing that one of our goals when I first started, it was just giving out pads, something cute.
Yeah.
Oh, here you go. It's a little pad. But then after going around to the schools, we realized that this was an issue. Girls don't have pads. So we've built up to giving out girls at least 2 weeks of pads when they come, and hopefully we can give them a whole pack of pads, because your daughter may not need it at that point, but you may need it, or somebody may need a pack of pads. So we're trying to give out pad donations. We take pad donations, monetary donations, donations of your time if you want to volunteer, all of that, and we're always open to networking with other organizations that mentor girls.
I love it. Yeah, y'all, that's a tax write-off. Y'all go ahead and donate those pads. Yes. Go ahead and
we are proud of our 501c. Right? It's a write-off. We are a nonprofit.
So go ahead and donate.
Yes. Donate at your heart's desire.
Absolutely. So you are the founder, and I love it. And then so you're also a branding strategist. So if you need a branding coach, she's also amazing at that as well. She might have you sitting in homeless chairs. But I gotta tell y'all a story real quick before we leave. So we're doing a photo shoot, right? I'm doing a photo shoot. She comes to Atlanta. I'm like, yeah, we're doing a photo shoot. It's all nice and sunny outside. And she was like, yeah, that chair. And I was like, what do you want me to do with that chair? There was a homeless person sitting there like 2 minutes ago. Now, mind you, I love the homeless. I give to the homeless moments. I love them. They're my people. But I was like, I think that's his chair. I think that's his property. I don't want to be sitting on this man's or woman's property. And she was like, no, that's the shot right there. Like, she had me with this DJ board, like sitting in a homeless chair in the middle of Atlanta. But she got the shot, and the shot was amazing. Have you ever seen one in like
we're gonna post the shot. We're gonna try to put the shots.
The shot.
Yeah,
they be like all on the ground, and they be getting the shot. I was
angles.
Like, she jumped in front of the photographer. Shout out Nady Nukes, and she was like, I got this one. So, nonetheless, needless to say, she's amazing, y'all. So if you need a branding coach, strategist, y'all hit her up, Dani Parks.
Yes.
We appreciate you for stopping by the Mixtape. Absolutely, y'all. Donate. Pearls.
Princesses,
and Puberty.
Yes, Princesses,
P3.
Pearls, and Puberty.
I messed it up all the way. Princess, Pearls, and Puberty.
Yeah.
Y'all be blessed. Keep God first in all you do. Wiki, the Mixtape Podcast with your girl DJ Miss Eclectic.